Hey, it's the Fish Guy. Today I get to hang out with Dan Hosmer and Karen O'Connor. I'll let them introduce themselves. Dan?
I am the curator of strategy and sustainability here at Something Fishy. I select which vendors we use and why we use them.
Karen?
I'm the bookkeeper and inventory manager at Something Fishy, and once Dan finds our vendors, then I keep up a relationship with them so we can continue to get good products.
Awesome. So I thought it'd be cool to hang out with you two today and talk about vendor relationships and how important that is to our company. I think that any relationship that an organization has, whether it be its team members, its clients, or its partners such as vendors, it's really important. So I wanted to pick your brain about what your thought is and how important that relationship is, and what are some of the things that you do that might be unique to managing that relationship that maybe most businesses don't do.
Yeah, definitely. So having good vendor relationships is really key to being able to provide quality products consistently. So you want to look at companies that really share the same values as you do. So for example, if I'm looking for a fish vendor, I want someone who can reliably get us the product in a timely manner. I want someone who's providing us a quality product every single time that they're giving it to us. And I also want someone that falls into our simplicity model, so someone that's really looking at measures to make things easy for the client and make things easy for us so that we can work with them to deliver a product to our clients that is really going to wow them.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So when you're choosing a vendor and talking with them about, hey, this is how our company acts and performs, how do they respond to that typically? Because I'm assuming they're not used to kind of the vendor interview process that we might look at. I think we're probably a little bit more particular, maybe have higher expectations of our vendors.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, when I talk with vendors, we tend to be the ones that, for lack of a better term, nitpick them a little bit more. It's because, a lot of people just accept what's out there and they get the best of what they've found. What we do is we really dig into what a vendor is offering, why they're offering it, how they're offering it, so that we make sure we've vetted out all our options and we're getting the best relationships and the best sort of communication and reliability that we really need.
So, Karen, while Dan's out there picking the vendors and doing a lot of the product analysis and reviews and the R&D to that, you get to handle the administrative side. And what's entailed in that, in receiving inventory, maybe paying the bills?
Right, so I kind of pick up where Dan leaves off. Well, he never leaves off, but I continue on not only wanting good quality because we don't want the customer to ever have an issue and then we have to go through the whole return or exchange process, but also keeping the prices great. And the vendors that we have already think that we're special compared to other companies, and that's evidenced by some of our vendors come just to hang out with us, and they come into our showroom or they bring us pizza and coffee and lattes and things because they really like us as well. And it just helps us be able to get the best prices from some of them, and not to mention free stuff, great
That's
prices,
great.
and the ones who really like us just bring us cool stuff. So
That's awesome.
That's what it's all about in my world.
So recently we had a vendor in the showroom in the office, and he was like, talking with another supplier that says, it's almost impossible to get a meeting with Something Fishy. How'd you get in the door? Is that really true, and what is the best approach that you'd recommend if a vendor wanted to approach us and talk to us about their products?
I'm usually the gatekeeper, so I would vet out a vendor before it even gets as far as Dan. If I think that they do have good quality products and good prices and good delivery methods too, because we don't want to ever have to be waiting on product that we ordered for any extended length of time that's out of the ordinary. So then if I think that they're going to be a good fit for us, then I would let Dan know and see if he might have time to meet with them at some point, whether it's right then for 5 minutes or maybe in the future for an hour or so.
Interesting. So you have kind of the administrative role, which could be a little boring, but yet our culture is fun.
It's all fun. It's just fun.
how is it that you add the fun aspect of our culture to working with our vendors on the administrative side, whether that's paying a bill or managing the inventory? Some of the dry stuff.
I think a lot of it is in my own attitude towards it, because everything that I do is my own personal challenge. So, for example, if I'm getting certain prices from one vendor and I can get the same products from another vendor, my personal challenge is to, even if it's by cents, get the best price, but also with the vendor who's going to give us the best service. So every time I'm receiving an invoice, if something is down by even 5 or 7 cents, yes,
It's a win. That's great.
So everything it's fun because it's winning all day long.
So you talked a lot about, or not a lot, but you talked about price being important, but you did blend it with the value. Dan, let me ask you, I obviously think our company prides itself on delivering the best value, which is typically not a company with the lowest price. So when choosing a vendor, can you talk about the values that we're looking for, which tend to be more important to us than the actual bottom line price?
Yeah, definitely. You got to think in regards to us being hard to get a hold of too. Is that we get all sorts of requests for companies to work with us to sell us products and stuff. Numerous emails, phone calls, etc. every day. And what we're looking at is not just what do you have to offer, but why do we want to work with you? So we're vetting out not just who has a product that's good, but who has communication that's good, who provides a reliable service, who's transparent, who is, when there's an issue, takes the next step and goes and tries to fix that for us. If a product is not working, they go and they revisit it and they give us something better. Or if we're not getting the prices they want, they talk us through it. What can we do to get the prices that we need? It's all about communication is key. And you want to work with people that you like. You don't want to just buy a product from anyone in the market. You want to make friends.
That's awesome. I like what you said, and I think it's important. If you look at the vendors that we have the closest relationships with, they didn't knock on our door by just shooting us a mass campaign email or just walking in off the street cold. They reached out to us and found a unique way. A vendor I'll talk about actually recently that's not even in our industry, they sent us a pizza for lunch, right? And we didn't even know it was coming. And along with that, they sent a personalized card. What did it cost the vendor? $8 or $10 to get his foot in the door? It immediately got us to respond to him because he was unique, he was different, and he did something creative. And I think that's one of the keys. It sparked, his actions sparked a cultural fit with us, right? Mm-hmm. And we have other vendors that do very similar things. I can think of a vendor that must spend $100 on Starbucks a month for us. But that's not necessary. You can do it in a unique way. Just to grab our attention through our cultural alliances.
Great.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me today. I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing in maintaining our relationships with our vendors. I think just in wrapping up, one of the things that I would add, and you kind of have touched upon it already, is that a vendor relationship is more than just about a source to get products. It's industry knowledge, it's content, it's building a relationship because there's somebody you're dealing with on a weekly basis. Working with our vendors has been a very successful way of helping us grow our business, grow our knowledge base, and when we're traveling and going to events, working with those vendors to learn more about what's happening in the industry and get insights on products and be part of their surveys and their, what's helpful for both of our relationships. It's a give and take world, right? So I find with our vendors that we invest in, they also invest in us, and it's a win-win situation. So so vendor relationships are really important, as with any relationship. So that's a little bit about how to make the magic happen with your vendor partners. So thanks again for joining us, and to all of our viewers, make solid relationships with your vendors. Make sure that you're constantly communicating strongly with them, and have an awesome day. Carpe diem.